and I actually bought my Galaxy S23 there over a year ago, and now it's not working. So I'm just gonna say, okay, I have a problem with my Galaxy S23 and I wanna return it. So here what's happening is that the model used a tool to fetch my orders. It found the one that actually contained the Galaxy S23. And the first thing that you can notice here is that this is not a regular text-based interface. With structured outputs, now you can actually create UI that is more interactive because you know what the output of the model is going to look like. So you can use that to add more visual components to your application. If we look at what's happening behind the scenes here, it's really just JSON that's returned by the model, and then we can turn that into a nice UI component. So now it's actually asking me if I can describe the problem and if I have any pictures that might help. So I'm just going to say it just keeps turning off for no reason, and instead of describing too much, I'm just going to use a picture and send that, because with the vision capabilities of the model, it can actually understand the image and see what's going on and see that there's no visual damage here. And so then it actually did something interesting. It analyzed the policy to tell me that I'm eligible for a replacement up to 110%, that's nice, of the original price paid. And so that is really, really interesting, but what I want to know is how it came to that conclusion. And that's where reasoning comes into play. Because if we look at the policy, it's kind of complicated. So this is the policy, it's very long, there's a lot of decision trees there, and so a lot of steps. For example, if there's a damage, if there's no visible damage, we go to step 3C. If we go to step 3C, phone turns off, we go to step 4, and then we have a different value based on the amount of time that I've had the phone. And so if we ask GPT-4o to analyze this policy, well, it's not necessarily going to come up with the right answer because it's quite complicated. So this is ChatGPT. I'm going to take a risk. I'm literally going to run this on stage. So let's just copy paste this and paste this here. And then I'm just giving the context of the order. So that's just exactly the same that we have here, and see what ChatGPT comes up with. ChatGPT with 4o, of course. And so I asked to respond in one sentence, and here it just says, based on our policy, the Galaxy is over 1 year old, so it's outside of the warranty period, so there's nothing they can do, basically. Which isn't what we want to hear, and it isn't right, it isn't what is in the policy. So now let's ask the exact same thing to O1. So I'm just going to copy paste that, create a new chat, change to O1, and let's see what happens. So here, the first thing we can notice is that the model is thinking. So it's actually taking its time. It's less fast than when you use GPT-4o, but we can see what's happening. We can see some high-level overview, and now it's telling me, okay, it was purchased between 1 and 2 years ago. You are eligible for a replacement of 110% of the value. So O1 actually came up with the right answer. And if we look at the details, we can see that that it actually went through the decision tree and just saw what the problem was, assessed the damage, estimated when it was bought, and all of that led to that right conclusion. So that's how reasoning can help in more complex situations when you have AI agent. So now it's asking me if I want to proceed with returning to Galaxy, so I'm just going to say yes. Again, it's just going to use a tool to do everything for me. I don't need to go anywhere, I don't need to click on anything. It's just happening all at the same place, so it's just meeting me where I am. And now it's actually offering to find a replacement product. So I do need a phone, so I'm going to say yes. Ideally, I'd like the same one. So let's see what it comes up with. So it's looking up the details for my current phone. It's saying that it's out of stock, so it now comes up with a new tool. It should. The connection is pretty slow, apparently. Um, okay, so it comes up with a new tool to find alternatives because apparently my phone is no longer available. And again, it doesn't just tell me these are the things that you should look at, it just generates UI components to show me. And the interesting thing here is that it's not me who said, okay, generate this UI in that way. It's really the model coming up with the ideal UI to respond to my question. Because when I go to a store, a physical store, I can just talk to an employee, and if I want my questions answered, I don't want to have to adapt to a certain way of discovering things, like you would do on a website. I don't want to click on 5 different tabs and look at the phone description. I want the person helping me to just answer whatever I ask. And so with structured outputs, you can generate UI on demand to really adapt to what the user is asking. So let's try it. For example, if I say, can you compare weights to my current S23? Let's see what the model comes up with in terms of UI. And so here it is. It's generating a bar chart to show me the weights. I didn't have to click anywhere again. It's just meeting me where I am. Now, let's do something a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to say, can you compare other characteristics like RAM, CPU, etc.? And again, the model will just answer my question and adapt the UI to what I'm asking. So here, generating a table, generating all of the content for that table with the RAM, the CPU. Oh, it added the storage, battery as well, refresh rate. Great. But what I'm actually the most interested in is the camera, because the camera on this one is not great. So let's just say, can you compare cameras and graphics? And again, it will come up with its own way of answering my question, which is a table again. And we have the comparison in one neat table. Great. So actually, I like the fact that the OnePlus has a better camera. The extra storage is also interesting. So I think I'm going to go with the OnePlus. So I'm going to say, I like the OnePlus. Which colors are available? And happen. Okay. I don't know why this is here, but yeah. Okay. This was not meant to happen. So, okay, I'm going to just say, can you show me alternatives to Samsung S23? I'm going to be fast. So let's do it. Okay, calling now.
Hello, is this the tech store in La Défense? My name is Ada, and I'm calling on behalf of a customer.
Yes, that's the tech store in La Défense. How can I help you?
Great. I'm calling to check if you have a OnePlus 12 and Flowy Emerald in stock. Our customer, Katya, is interested in picking it up today.
Oh, actually, we do have OnePlus 12, but we don't have that color. I'm sorry.
Ah, thank you. And what time do you close today? Katya will likely come by later to pick up the phone if she's happy with the color.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have emerald, but we do have silver and black. So yeah, I guess she can come up. We close at 7 p.m.
Perfect, thank you. I'll let Katya know that you have silver and black available, and she can come by before 7 p.m. Thanks for your help, and have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Okay. Okay. Well, now the assistant is actually updating me, telling me that it got off the phone with the store, that they do have a OnePlus 12, but unfortunately they don't have the right color. So I'm fine with that. I'll just take the silver one. It's great. Great. So we'll finish up the conversation, and if we recap everything that just happened, what we just saw is kind of a combination of all of those things. So we saw an AI agent that used reasoning to take better decisions when the process is kind of complex. So there's a lot of applications for that, but customer service is a great example because sometimes you have very complex processes and you really want the agent to take the right decision.